and Sundries Piper podcast. I'm Devynn.
I'm Lauren.
And we're here to bring you knitting and crochet goodness.
Yes, and fibery stuff. And
fibery stuff.
Maybe a yarn review today. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to get into?
Ornaments. We might have a few ornaments. So this is basically the start of our Christmas knitting, crochet, like updates.
Yeah.
You'll be seeing a lot of Christmas from this point forward.
Yes.
So get ready, because here we come.
and there we go.
We're doing a tree for our local charity organization, the Dove Center, which helps domestic violence victims.
It's a super great organization.
So they have you decorate a tree, you submit pictures, and then they're allowing people to pay to vote on the best trees. And the money from the paid votes is going to all go to the Dove Center, which helps the domestic violence victims. And we are decorating a tree for this.
Yes.
So our tree is all handmade ornaments.
By our stitching group.
There's I think 6 or 7 of us contributing.
Mm-hmm.
We have a cross stitch podcast that we showed our cross stitch updates, and now we're going to start digging into our knit and crochet updates.
Yeah. We're really lucky. We have a bunch of people in our stitching group who have lots of different crafts.
Yeah,
different crafts. So
we're a multi-craft dual stitch.
We are, and we have my sister is doing some quilting and some sewing. We have a lady that is doing quilted bulbs.
Yes.
We have crocheters, knitters, cross stitchers.
We have a loom weaver, but I'm not sure she's making any ornaments on the loom.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, she has an emergency come up, so
she's
not. She can't participate this time, but
yeah. So we have lots of cool stuff, and we're hoping that next weekend when we put the tree together, we will have a bonus episode of what the tree looks like, and maybe just like some, even if it's just a video with some close-ups of some of the cool things people have brought in, or something fun like that. Mm-hmm. We'll see what we get up to next. How ambitious we feel next weekend.
Yes.
So I have 1 finish, 2 updates, and some acquisitions. What do you have today?
I have several finishes.
Yes.
And a few updates.
Yes.
I've been knitting like crazy, not cross stitching, like hardly at all.
At least something's getting done. I mean, productivity, no matter what it's in, is excellent. Cat hair.
I have hair in my hair too.
The cat must have walked by and floofed everywhere.
So I'll start with my first 2 finishes. So I showed one last time, and I showed the other one as a whip, and it's now finished. So,
those are so cute.
These are mini Christmas stockings, and it's by I think it's Julie Williams. Yeah, Little Cotton Rabbit on Ravelry, and her pattern includes 6 Fair Isle charts, so you can do a lot of variety of these little stockings. I use Red Heart Super Saver yarn. These are knit on straight needles, or I use circulars, but you don't knit in the round. So you knit them flat, and then you seam up the back here.
Very nice. And
they are super cute. I'm going to do like a little crochet loop to hang them.
Yeah.
And then when I get them back, I'm going to put them on a garland. I have little clothespins. So I'm going to put them on a little garland on my wall.
That's going to be very cute.
So I'm probably going to have, I'm hoping to have 5 of these total. Not sure if I'm going to have 5 for the tree, but for me, I will have 5. Yeah. These 2 are going on the tree for sure.
For sure.
So those are they were fun to knit. They didn't take long. They were like, I knit them both in one evening, and I seamed this one that same evening, and then I seamed this one later.
Yeah. So, I mean, they go quick.
They do go quick. And I think the pattern calls for like fingering weight yarn, but I just used
whatever was on hand.
We
are on a time constraint.
Yes.
We use whatever is available.
I used size 6 needles and worsted weight yarn, and they came out to be like, here's my hand.
They're perfect size for an ornament.
Yeah. So.
I mean, maybe you want them smaller, but.
Yeah. If you want them smaller, use fingering weight yarn and a smaller needle.
You'll be fine.
So, I have more.
I have one little one. I also looking at your Fair Isle thing. I can show Sarah's. My sister's.
Yes.
But I'm going to be doing a Fair Isle hat soon, and I am super excited about that. So I will talk about the yarn I'm going to use for it later. But I'm going to get up real quick and grab some of Sarah's, and then I'll show you my one little dinky whip one little dinky ornament that I did. So my sister is a sewer and quilter and painter and carpenter and furniture restorer and household
She's just really
fixer
good with like everything.
And, so she made up these. I didn't. If I had known I was doing this, I would have grabbed the pattern that we used. These are Danish star ornaments, and there's a free pattern. We will link it below. I'll put it somewhere. These are super easy. If you have the ability to do basic sewing on the sewing machine, these are super easy.
It's just sewing and folding.
It's sewing, and the sewing is even minimal. You make strips of fabric, you fold them in half, you sew them closed into like a tube. You turn them inside out to get your seam on the inside, and then the rest is folding. That's all it is. It's super easy. It's origami quilting, and she did 8 of them.
They're really cute.
So those are going on our tree. A couple of them will be given away to family. She's amazing. She does amazing things for me. I love her dearly, even if I have to hound her to get anything done. Not too bad.
They're really cute.
And then my dinky little one, he's a little derp. His one thing got short. So this is, I had this really pretty red yarn with gold ribbon in it. I talked about it a little last time. But I didn't have enough to actually do much with it. Everything I started either was way too basic. It was like a perfect circle that was like supposed to be a bulb. That didn't seem that fun. So I cut out a star out of a corrugated cardboard. I wanted it a little thicker to be able to withstand the pressure. And with some tacky glue, I just wound it. The back is kind of shit looking. I just wound it around. I drilled a hole in the middle with a pencil so that I could go in and out of the hole to get the center covered. And that actually looks pretty cool.
That looks adorable.
And it's just glued down. The back's shit, but nobody's gonna see the back, so who cares? But it was just fun. It was a way to use up the yarn.
It's a ninja star too.
I threw it across the room a couple times because Sarah wasn't listening to me when I was talking to her. So I throw it at her. So that's probably why this one's smaller, because I threw it at Sarah's head a couple times.
It's cute.
So yeah, it'll be on the tree. It's cute. It's another ornament done. That's the important part.
Yes.
So that's not even really a craft thing. It's just me playing with yarn and
But
glue.
it's yarn, so it goes in this episode.
It's yarn, so it goes in this episode.
Yeah. So I have a tiny knitted hat.
Very cute.
So this is Tiny Christmas Hat by Debbie Hassler.
Did you make your own pom-pom?
Yes, actually, I didn't make that. Jason made that. Don't pull on it too hard. I told him, I said, watch a video, figure out how to make this. Here you go. Because he wanted to help, and he can't knit, but he wanted to help with something. And he's like, how can I help you? Because you seem like you're really stressed out about all the ornaments. And I'm like, yeah. So I gave him a project, and he figured it out, and it worked out really well.
It did. It looks so cute.
Yeah. So that's
so perfect.
Tiny knitted hat. That's adorable. You're a dork. So then I have I have 3 more finishes, but I'll show 2 together because they go together.
These are so cute.
These are also assisted by Jason. I did not say that.
Oh.
These are my little snowmen. So these snowmen are foam balls with yarn wrapped around, and I'll show you the bottom of this.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one that cheated.
See, it's just, we pinned it in with like, I got a tin from an aunt, and it's just full of buttons, and for some reason, pins.
Straight pins, yeah.
Straight pins are in with the buttons. And so, like, you want to run your hands through the buttons, but it's a death trap. So anyway, I've been working on pulling all the pins out.
That's why she did it. She's like,
so
I'm gonna get you.
I found the the pins work really well to hold the yarn in at the bottom and just start wrapping. And this is Red Heart white yarn, and there is nothing holding the yarn onto this foam ball other than friction. So like if you were to rub it, glue. I didn't glue it. I don't know. It's holding, so yeah. If you were to rub it, I think it might like come undone, but whatever. I have a few push pins in the bottom and stuff, and in the head. And I knit the scarf. The scarf is just garter stitch. I think I cast on 6 stitches. I used fingering weight yarn held double on both scarves, just scraps that I had.
Very cute.
And I just garter stitch knit until it was long enough to go around the neck and look like this. And then it's held on with a push pin here. The hats are both knit with the same pattern as the tiny Christmas hat by Debbie Hassler. I just used fingering weight yarn and tiny needles to get the size.
Look how cute they are.
And I used push pins for the little buttons. And this guy has really cute push pin buttons. Like they kind of have like a little, like they have like a dollop of silver on the end.
Yeah, they have got little round balls.
Yeah, I couldn't find any more like that in the tin that I had.
I love his pink and red hat too. That is so cute.
It's actually white, but because it's wool,
because
the red fiber transferred in with the white and kind of just blended all together.
It's a little boy and a little girl, and they're so cute.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna put like a little loop right here.
Yeah.
So that they hang. This guy's probably gonna be right here.
Yeah, drill into his head.
Yeah. Oh, and what I did to attach the balls is I took a toothpick, dipped in glue, tacky glue, shoved it into this ball, shoved the head on, and it worked.
Yep.
So those are my little snowmen that I almost threw. Then I have one more ornament finish. This is a Pinterest find.
This is adorable.
So my boyfriend had these toothpicks lying around that kind of look like knitting needles. They actually have like a flat back. They're not the double-ended toothpicks. And so I used, I think, size 1 or 0 knitting needles and just knit a scrap little bit of scarf.
Like it's in progress.
And I put 3 stitches on each needle. And it's really cute.
Look at that.
And I have it dangling in there. You can kind of see. I'm going to cut this off so you can't see that little bit there. I had it in there just loose because that's how a lot of the pictures looked. But then I didn't like it, so I...
Oh, it just like laid in the bottom?
It laid in the bottom, and I also had the rest of the yarn that went to this kind of rolled up in a ball. But it just kind of was like getting all tangled up, and you couldn't really tell it was in there.
Yeah.
So I fixed it this morning. And it
I think that's
super
cute. I think that's super cute.
So that's my little...
That's adorable.
Mitten. That's all my finished ornaments. I have 1 whip ornament. Do you want me to show that now?
I have 2 whips.
Okay.
But they're not ornaments, so you might as well get the ornaments out of the way. Christmas ornament update is commencing.
Oh no, I dipped the tail in my tea.
Oh!
It's okay, it's brown yarn, so... It's also going to get cut off.
It's tea-aged now.
So this is the mini Gingerbread Friends by Esther Joy Knits on Ravelry. I've not finished him. So this is his little hair. These are his little like handcuffs, and these are his little feet. And her pattern is cool. It has directions to do this in the round or to do it flat. And I thought, what the hey, I'll try it flat. And what you do is you seam this all up the back, and then there's a couple sewing techniques to give you the definition around his face so that his face will all squish in and be a face. And then like you do something down here by his legs to give him 2 separate legs once he's stuffed. I think. I don't really know. I haven't read the directions that far. Maybe you stuff and go. I think you run the thread through and then you stuff it.
Pull it tight, yeah.
And then you just pull it tight as you stuff.
That makes sense.
I think that's what you do. So yeah, I just didn't get to seaming this, but yeah, this is him.
That's coming along. Looks very nice.
It is looking very nice.
So I'm going to show you what Devynn started this. She's like, look at this project. Isn't this so cute? You do this.
You guys.
And then this was just like sitting around. This was just sitting around for a little while. I don't think we have to say any more about what this little thing looks like.
Nope.
So it needs some stuffing.
It needs finished.
It made my day.
Oh my gosh. Well, it made mine too. Earlier I laughed so hard I was crying. So, like when I showed you, because it just, guys.
I mean, it could keep something warm.
All right, I'm taking it from you. All right. Okay. It's a gingerbread man.
It's a gingerbread man. I don't know what you all were thinking.
Anyway, the pattern has a gingerbread girl. That's why it's called the Gingerbread Friends. Oh. So there's a boy and a girl. And the girl has really cool directions for how to do her hair. So you take a...
Sorry.
Switching topics.
Yes.
You take a like little dowel rod and you get your yarn wet. And you wrap it around. And then you bake it in your oven. And it makes it curl.
That's adorable.
So I'm going to try that. Hopefully I don't burn my house down because I don't know.
Does it say like don't use acrylic? Or
it doesn't say don't use acrylic, and I'm kind of nervous about that.
I mean, if you're baking it really low.
It's a 200.
Yeah.
Is that really low?
That's really low, yeah.
So 200 degrees sounds hot to me.
Yeah, you're fine. I think you're fine.
So yeah, I'm going to see what happens. It also says to bake it for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, we'll see about that.
Yeah, watch it carefully. Watch how much it smokes.
Yeah. I'm worried it might just melt.
If it's wet, what you're really trying to do is just slowly evaporate out
like
the water.
Steam it. Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, he's obviously knows what he's talking about. Hopefully he didn't just write that down and be like, whoa. Like, we'll see who's
Well, I looked through people who've made it, and there are people who've made this with acrylic. So I think the hair can be done.
Should be.
I have no idea. We'll find out. Next update.
Okay.
What do you have?
I have.
That's all
I have
my
an update and a bit of a thing to talk about, I guess. So, I've been working on my temperature blanket. And I finally got my yarn in the other day of my
next color.
Last color I needed. I'm sure I'm going to need more yarn in the future, but I'll just keep it folded in half here. So these, there's 4 rows here, 3 rows of granny and 1 at the top here of half double that are, this is called Grasshopper. This is all done with Cascade 220 Sport. This green is called Grasshopper, and it is the hottest days are this. And now I'm done with it. I bought a whole skein to do these 4 rows.
Oh man.
But I love this color. I think it's a perfect color. One, like this green, gray, and purple is just such a nice combo.
It is very nice.
It just feels good. But also, if I, hang on, I gotta get the gigantic one out.
Oh.
Literally, if you lay that across this.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Is that what you meant?
That green goes with all these colors. It doesn't stand out as a unusual color in the scheme of the blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was really looking for. I want all my colors coordinate. Like, not, you could put literally any 2 colors next to each other and be happy. Like, nothing is weird. And it took me a while to find another color that did that.
Yeah. I could see how that would be challenging.
Yeah, because there's like 15 colors to work with. So that is, I'm into July. Hang on, I gotta get my book. It went somewhere. Book. I use one of the free calendars that come from my bank, and I write down
the temperatures
of that day, what color and what stitch to do, and then I can just cross out as I go. I'm in July. This blanket starts in July, and Sarah's already claimed the other one, so this one I guess is mine.
Well, at least you really like that green.
I like that green. So, because, keeping on the kind of same area, because I am done with it now. Where'd it go? It's in, sorry, my duffel bag has many pockets for many yarns.
Did you lose it?
I must have. It's probably sitting over there. I have a skein about the size left of the green. And hold that, I'm gonna go grab it. I want to do a hat with them.
Just gonna do a hat?
Yes, I'm thinking so.
Is this what you're gonna use for the Fair Isle hat you mentioned?
I was thinking so.
Ooh.
There it is.
The green.
The green. Sorry. Everybody, sorry about that. But there you go. That's the color. And it's so pretty.
Look at those. Those do go.
And this is a sport weight yarn, which is perfect to do a Fair Isle. It'll have good.
And it's wool, so it'll be nice.
Wool, it'll be nice and warm. And I was thinking, Nomad Stitches has a really pretty one that's like ferns. I'll put a picture right there. And I thought this would be really a pretty combo for a hat.
Mm-hmm.
I've got tons of this. I'm gonna have to order more probably, but you know, who cares?
That's a good gray.
That's a good gray, and this green pops really nicely. And that's what I think I'm gonna do my next hat out of.
I think that'll be really
I love
nice.
that color. Green is my color.
As your earrings showed.
As my earrings showed. These are earrings Devynn got me, and they're very cool, and I love them. So that is my update, and kind of like next thing on my list of projects. My duffel bag is getting too full, and I need another one.
Well, I mean, you need to finish the blanket.
Well, I know, but like if this blanket gets any bigger, it's gonna need its own duffel bag.
But this one needs like finished and out.
Yeah.
And then there's room in there.
Now. I don't want to do border. I don't need ears.
Oh, it needs a whole border.
It needs a whole border.
Nope, never mind. Don't finish that. Put that off as long as you can.
Yeah.
So
what else have you been working on?
Let's see. I'll show this. This is my exciting project. So I got my yarn for my sweater.
Ah, yes.
That I'm taking a class with the Untangled Pearls yarn shop in Fredericksburg, Virginia. My yarn finally arrived. And I started my sweater. And it looks pretty stinking cute. So hopefully I didn't do anything dumb like finish in the middle of a row. Alright. So, these are my sleeves.
How cool are these?
So, this is sleeves going 2 at a time. And, I can even like show you, look at that. This is my sweater. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. So, I'm on the increases. I got my yarn and I feel like I've been booking it.
Yeah, I think you've made a lot of progress. Because you did not have this yarn the last time we recorded.
I went and picked it up that day.
Yeah, so this is 2 weeks of work.
Yes. And really only 1 week because I only worked on this a little bit and then I was like, gotta do ornaments. So, did all the ornaments. But I'm on the increases and I think I need to make a total of, for my size, like 16 increases. And it's going really well. I'm glad to be done with this section because carrying the yarn is the worst. 1 by 1 is my favorite.
Yeah, that's much easier.
Much, much easier. The one thing I will say is I feel like this area is much more forgiving for stretch, whereas this area is not going to be as forgiving for stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Because the 1 by 1 is a little tighter, just
right.
in general.
It's just not going to have as much give.
I did do the double cuff, so my cuffs are...
super long, so you can turn them up.
Yep.
Very cute. Love it.
They are, it's really good. I've talked to the instructor a couple times about like questions I've had and stuff. With the increases, the one, I don't think this is giving anything away with the pattern, is like you want to do them in the white so that you don't get your...
You want those lines of the pink to keep...
If you don't do them in the white, it's harder to make sure that your stitching doesn't get like awkwardly disrupted with these columns, because if you don't do it right, you could end up with like an entire shift.
Skewing that way.
Yeah. So that's going, and I am using Chalgoos size 8s. I think, yeah, size 8s. I think I did the sleeves on size 6s or 5s.
Yeah, you want those a little tighter. The cuffs, you mean?
The cuffs, yes, the cuff. And I am doing them on interchangeable needles because I I didn't want to have to deal with having to knit one off and switch out a whole size or a whole needle. And there's a lot of stuff going on here, so I'm just like, let me just pop those tips off. So I really like it.
So what do you think of the pattern itself?
I like it, and I did not bring it with me, but she has done a ton of work to make it easy in the pattern. One, the color work section, nothing's hard. Nothing's hard in any of this.
No, you're not doing crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put these away so I can stop swinging them around. You're not doing anything crazy. I'll show the yarn too. So
yeah, what yarn you got?
I'm using the Germantown Kelborn woolens, and this is just in like I don't know, natural, off-white, whatever that color is. They don't have very many color options, so it is whatever the natural is. But anyway, the pattern has a lot of instructions for all of the techniques, and there's links for videos if you need them. The instructor that I'm taking the class with is giving us even more
clarity.
How to carry your color work properly, where to do the increases, because the pattern does not specify I don't think she specifies to do the increases in the white. And maybe she suggests it, but she doesn't say like why, which is what I got from the class.
Yeah, that's nice to have that little bit of extra, like,
yeah,
it just gives you more detail, more information, clarity on a technique, things like that. It's nice to have a class.
And the class is the 2 at a time sleeves. Like, that's not written into the pattern. The pattern she tells you to just knit the sleeves this way. She doesn't tell you like how to do them 2 at a time to save you that. So that is something I got from the class. And then like there's a lot of guidance. Other people in the class, because they've all had their yarn, and mine's been so late, they're on the body of the sweater, even to the point where they're joining sleeves to the body. So she's been talking about like techniques and stuff, and I'm taking notes, and I actually have on the pattern like little bits of scribbled notes here and there of like how to deal with this thing or whatever comes up. Like, always make sure that your steeking section has, I think my size has 10 stitches there, and like don't ever mess that up, because your whole sweater will fall apart when you cut it if you do. The instructor is going to do one-on-one steeking sessions with us, which is really nice, reassuring. And like one of the people who's in one of her other classes is doing this sweater, and she steeked it herself, the girl did, and then messed up the steek and brought it in, and our instructor just fixed it. And she showed us like what happened, and she showed us like how she fixed it.
That's really great.
So that was really cool.
I would not be brave enough to do it myself.
I'm a little nervous because this lady messed hers up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's what I'm afraid of.
Are you thinking about going down to Fredericksburg for
I am thinking about it, but with all the restrictions coming back on, I'm thinking we're not going to be able to. But she's going to do a one-on-one Zoom with me. So I've got to like get some progress on the sweater.
But she knows why you're delayed. It's not like she's going to be like, oh, nope, sorry, I'm not helping anymore. It's like,
no.
Yeah.
And she has reassured me multiple times that's not going to happen. So I feel really great about it. I am loving my color. What's your
yarn for your color? You showed us your white yarn.
Let me see. Oh, shoot. It's Knitting Fever. I think this is called Rose.
Knitting Fever has 9 million dream things.
I know, and I don't have the ball band in here. And I didn't.
We'll put it down below or put it here somewhere. It'll be around.
I did not bring it, and I don't think I showed this at our last podcast, did I? No. This is pretty attractive, huh? How you hold this ball. So I will show the ball.
It's very pretty.
Mine does not have a lot of color variation. So the pattern calls for spin cycle yarn. Spin cycle is a very nice indie yarn that looks hand spun, and so it has a lot of great color variation in it. And Knitting Fever has a lot of these
faux spin cycle.
Yeah, like
barber pole.
It's barber pole is really what it is. And the one I picked out was one with the least color changing. Like mine is, this shows you a little, there's some color difference and stuff. So anyway, there's not a lot of when you look at the pattern, a lot of people have like a fade or something going on with their color work. Mine's not going to have that. And you can see, like, I am using 2 different balls of the pink. And I don't know if the thing is picking it up, but this sleeve here is slightly darker than this. But I'm okay with that because it is so slight, you can't tell.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Now, for other people, if they were using 2 balls, there would be a drastic
Oh, yeah, there
difference.
are people who have...
So you're actually trying to keep them more muted.
Mine is so subtle that you're not going to notice the color difference. I mean, you can barely tell.
I can't say... me in color, though. Don't trust me, but, like, I can't see it.
So, like, I can see it, but it's not drastic. Whereas, like, some people have sleeves that don't match. And I don't know how I feel about that. So my sleeves are going to pretty well match. I could have worked harder to make sure that both balls were using the same point in the color scheme, but I didn't because I saw the difference and I said, not that big of a deal.
Not that big of a deal. That's me in my life.
So I will link below this yarn. I can't remember. I can't remember it all. I actually have a book that I keep all my ball bands and a scrap of the yarn from in it. So I have not forgotten it and have not lost it, but just don't have it with me. Also, I want to show off my bag again. So I'm keeping my sweater in this awesome bag that I got really from just like one of those junk stores.
Super fun.
My awesome bag. So that's my sweater.
It's a very cool sweater.
And the sleeves feel like they're fitting. And like I have a lot more increases, so hopefully they go over the beefcake up here. Because I got beefs.
I have an update.
Yep, go.
All right, last flip update for me. So this is the Inmost cardigan by 11 Handmade. And I need to put a freaking thing on the Instagrams, but I've been forgetting to be human in society. So, this is how it's coming. So you can see down here, I need to do I want to start doing a Russian join, so I don't have this, but I didn't bother messing with it too much. But that is where I was last time. Fancy. That's where I was last time.
That's one way to do it. Also, your progress keepers. If you have cute, stylish progress keepers, you should.
I could. So as you can see, this one is one. I fucking love this braid. Like this braid looks so good. It is so cool. And she has got it down of how to have them appear and disappear in, you know, in the pattern. So I'm on section 2 and I did the calculation out. When I finished section 1, I calculated out how much yarn I had used. And then was like, okay, there's 6 sections that are roughly the same size. If I used a ball and a half, I used a skein and a half of yarn to do one section. If I do 6, that's 9 skeins. I have exactly 9 skeins. I think I'm not going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it. So I'm definitely going to have to order one more. But I can find it. This is also a Knitting Fever. It's Ella Rae Cozy Alpaca Chunky.
I love this. It is so soft.
So soft. And it's going to be so warm. And it's going to be so nice. So I have been making really great projects. I've finished, I think I do a skein in a night or two. Mm-hmm. I go through a skein. It is a really interesting pattern. It has, you can see all my stitch markers are in this because you are constantly working up and down. So you've got to mark things so you can come back to them later. And I've got it all the way across the pattern in different spots because I'll be back there.
I really like it. I hope you guys can see this, how this like swoops in, because that is like the big element of this pattern is like, there's like this narrow swoop-de-doo here.
Yeah, so this braid comes in and then down here, this braid goes out and it comes back down comes in. And so you're going to have these kind of like big swooping.
It's like
things.
Very, non-traditional.
Yes, very much so. It's a very cool, modern piece. And I'm not going to give away how she does her patterns, but the construction of it actually being a sweater, being a cardigan, this will not have a closure. It will not be, it's open in the front, but it is very simple and looks like something that will not, like, and I'm not 100% on my gauge, and the way she constructs it, it does not look like that will affect me at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it's meant to be just a big, bulky thing.
It's a big, bulky shrug is what it is. And it is so pretty.
Oh, I forgot to bring my gauge swatch for my sweater. I was going to bring it.
Yeah. So, but for here where I'm at, I'm going to do a Russian join so that I do not have ends to weave in.
What is a Russian join?
A Russian join is where you basically make you take your one end that you're going to be putting on and you make a loop, and then you work the thread back through itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the same thing to the other side. You put it through the 2 loops and you pull them through, and it looks continuous. It looks like you've never had an end at all. And you snip and you're just good. And supposedly it's very, very secure. I do not know.
Is that Magic Knot? Or is that different from Magic Knot?
It's different from Magic Knot.
Okay.
It's different from Magic Knot. Supposedly it's very secure. I'm going to be trying it.
That will be interesting.
Yes. But she recommends it for this pattern. And I just forgot when I did this one. I just joined normally. But it just so happens this is where I was last time because I had finished a skein. So you get to see this every time I finish a skein, apparently. Apparently that's where your
that is
updates
a really nice color, and it looks cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. So it's going to be a really nice, cozy thing to have. And I hope to wear it quite often. I also have looked at like 900 of her other patterns. 11 Handmade on Instagram. Look at it. It's gorgeous shit. She's amazing.
She is. I really like that pattern. So I have a crochet update.
Ooh.
This is the Rainy Days shawl. I'm making slow progress on it now because it's gotten so big. But I'm really excited about the fade going on.
Look at that. That is so pretty. I'm loving this color you're in now. This like dark teal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So
this too. This mint.
I think last podcast I was here. So I was just at this little lacy bit
this year,
I guess.
No, I think you were like back here.
Oh.
It wasn't that big.
Maybe. I don't know.
You've done a lot.
But I worked on this a lot because this was my obsession. Right after.
See why? Look at it.
I know, it's so pretty. And it's going to be great to wear. Like, I love it on this black dress. Like, look at that. So, I'm excited for this. And it is getting to be, like this is shawl. This is actually, if I wanted to, I could stop here and it could be just a kerchief. There are some people who, I know a couple people who like this kind of size thing. You could also, like, make modifications. Like, you could join these 2 ends and make this could just be a cowl. So her pattern is pretty flexible and it's very simplistic in design. The yarn is doing all the talking here.
Right, yeah, that's the idea though, is to get a simple design that lets the yarn shine.
Yes, and I did a lot of looking at patterns to find one that was super simple and flexible on yardage, because crochet patterns, like, it's like they need like a bajillion yards. I know you talked about how it doesn't make any difference, but
it doesn't make any difference.
I looked at the patterns and I'm like, I need a bajillion yards and I only have 650. So I was having a hard time finding like a shawl that would fit in that length range. But that shawl is going to be great, and I'm going to wear that a lot.
Who's it by?
I have it in my book. Rachie Newen.
What's it called?
The Rainy Day Shawl.
The Rainy Day Shawl by Rachie Newen.
Yes.
It's very pretty.
It's very, very pretty.
And what's the thread? What's the yarn you're using?
I'm using, I wrote it down last time.
Well, I'll make her do all this bookkeeping stuff, guys. Don't worry.
I have it. It's Katja Infinity Shawl, color 312, and it's 100% merino wool. It is not superwash. It's very pretty. I can't wait to wear it. It looks summery, but I think I'm going to wear it like spring and fall too.
Yeah.
I like
absolutely.
it. I have a lot of black, and so it goes with everything I own.
Yeah.
And pink. It'll go with my pink stuff. Excuse me. So, I have one more whip. This whip has been the whip that I've been whipping So this is the Snuggle is Real cowl by Max the Knitter. I'm so excited about this. I'm so close.
She's into the lining.
I'm into the lining, and I'm like, I think I'm
pretty close to
9 inches in the lining.
And you do go to what, 13?
13. A lot of people made theirs shorter. And I contemplated making mine shorter because a lot of people did not go to 13 inches. But I looked at the pattern pictures and I said, it scrunches up at your neck. And that is what I want, is that cozy scrunchy all up in my face.
Yeah. I
like it. Well, it's not tight. That's
I know. I just don't. I don't like the idea of like stuff that like drifts up towards your mouth, especially like. I struggle all winter long because people are like, especially with short hair, they're like, wear a freaking scarf. I'm like, I don't like it touching my face. I don't want it on my face.
I don't think it's gonna touch my face. I think it's gonna be under my chin.
That's very possible. It's very possible, and I mean that is gonna be a smugly thing to have.
Yeah. So this
like, that will solve the problem.
Is alpaca, and this is Surrey alpaca, which this section
so fluffy,
you hold double, which can show you my 2 strands.
Like holding it double, I was surprised when you showed this to me how thick this lining is. I thought it was going to be a like just for the softness, but this is going to be a heat trap.
This is going to be warm.
Could kill a small animal if it got in there. It would just die of heat exhaustion.
It is going to be so warm, and we're supposed to get a cold winter, so I'm excited.
We are supposed to get a really cold winter.
So I'll talk a little bit about the design. So yes, this is a very thick lining with the Surrey alpaca held double. Alternatively, you could do mohair. You could also just do a fingering weight yarn if you wanted to, held double, and I think you would get about the same, or you could do a DK weight, and then you wouldn't have, if you're not into the fluff, which, what's wrong with you? But if you're not into it, you could do all those kinds of modifications to make this fit you. And I really, really like this. I like the texture, like the bumpy
I love this
texture of
this. This right here. Especially the colors you chose are super great. Love them.
Jason picked out these colors.
I've been wondering who on earth made you get away from pink and blue.
Jason picked out these colors.
Jason.
He saw them and he's like, these go together really well. What would you make with these? And I bought 2 skeins of each. So let me talk about that. I used 1 whole skein of this orange. And this is Juniper Moon Farm Yarn Moonshine. And it's 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk, I think. Anyway, it is gloriously warm. This orange, though, I used the entire skein. Got me this far. The gray, surprisingly, there's 2 skeins.
I can see that because the gray is also being trailed behind the orange.
Yes.
Yeah, I can totally see
that. Not 2 whole skeins, though. It was sort of like the Forest Path hap, where the bind off, I had to crack open a skein just to bind off.
Right.
I did have to open a skein just to do a little bit on this.
So like 1 1/4.
Yeah. So I have enough to do a hat, which I'm thinking of doing. I've seen a couple people who've done a hat with this stitch pattern.
Yeah.
Thinking of doing that, and a hat lined in this seems glorious. So I'm gonna.
My head, it's a lot.
Not when it's cold outside.
That's true. When it's cold outside, especially my ears.
Yeah.
My ears would be so flippin' warm.
Your ears would be warm. And you could do something like where you only do like the lining up so far.
Yeah, like kind of like
just on the fold or something.
Yeah.
The construction of this is really cool. So you do a provisional cast on here, which I just used waste cotton yarn. Because I read somewhere that was better to use than anything else. So I don't know. Trying it.
Yeah.
Because normally I use Red Heart Super Saver or Karen Simply Soft because I have so much of that. And I don't like using Karen Simply Soft as a cast on waste yarn.
Why is that?
It fuzzes and it sometimes sticks to my stitches.
Oh.
So I don't like it.
Where cotton does not. Cotton is so great for that reason.
And
it didn't go anywhere.
Red Heart is only in the only Red Heart I have is Super Saver, so it's all worsted weight, and I needed something that was not heavy. So anyway, you do like 3 inches of ribbing, and then you do the pattern. And then you do 3 more inches of ribbing with buttonholes. So there are directions in the pattern for buttonholes, and they're on here somewhere. Where are the buttonholes? They're in here somewhere. I lost them.
Did you forget to put your buttonholes?
No, they're in here. They just blend in. So here's one. I'll try to get the string out of the way and show you the little holy dooders. Where's the other one? My finger's in it. So there's one of the holes. It's not very noticeable, but they're there. So
what do you button?
You don't button anything. You run a cord through here. So at the end, I will have to knit an I-cord, very long, just plain I-cord, and thread it through. And then it's like a drawstring, and you can cinch it in close to your neck.
Ah.
And then where you pick up, so you knit those buttonholes in, and you do the 3 inches, and then you connect to the orange in here. And that was interesting. I struggled with that a bit in the pattern, and I'm not sure I did what the pattern said. I knit every stitch is attached. Every gray stitch is attached to an orange stitch. I actually looked up Andrea Mowry, I think, has a video for how to, it's called like a rolled hem, how to seam a rolled hem. And she has a video for that. So I just looked that video up and I did what she did. No. Because I didn't like what was happening in the pattern here. And I may have just been misunderstanding the pattern. Because there's not...
But you got there.
This pattern does not have any like helpful links in it for stuff you don't understand. Which, I mean, it's attaching a lining. I feel like that is something people might not be doing all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, the technique that I've learned makes me want to have linings in more things. So
then you attach on your floof and you go 13 inches.
You go 13 inches, and then I haven't read ahead to see how you attach from... Well, you shove this down the inside, obviously. Yeah. But I haven't read how to attach this to this. But I assume it's similar to what I did here.
Back there. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
I'm almost done. Just got to get the 13 inches.
And then it's hats for days.
Yes, I have 3 hats that I'm supposed to be knitting for cousins. Although I am trying to talk one cousin out of hats and into gloves. But I have at minimum 2 hats.
You have at least 3 gift stitching to do.
I have 3 gifts to do for sure. And I want to do a hat for my dad. My goal is to flood my dad with knit hats so that he'll wear them because he's afraid of losing them. So I'm like, let me make you 40 and then you can just wear them. And then if you lose them, it doesn't matter because you have 40.
There you go.
But I don't know if that will work. I have one acquisition.
I have some acquisitions. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I have some stuff to talk about. So let me see here. So we went to Morgantown, West Virginia yesterday. Before the quarantine hits again, we thought we'd get some shopping done. We needed some stuff for the tree. So we ran to Morgantown and went to Michael's and Hobby Lobby and got some stuff. But I picked up some yarn. My sister, after I made me a hat last time, she really wants a hat. So she picked out, this is just Michael's yarn. You know, I wasn't not doing any kind of crazy spending on yarn. This is Lion Brand Heartland yarn. And this is in Glacier Bay, and it is so pretty. And
that is really pretty.
It's such a Sarah color. I'm going to do her hat out of this with maybe a gray band or something to just break it up a little bit. I don't know. It might just be a straight blue hat. Don't know.
I like it.
And I picked up this because I just liked the color palette of it. It's kind of camo colors, but not really. I feel like I can get away with not being camo. And this is Loops and Threads, which is I think the Michael's brand.
I think so.
Soft and shiny.
It's very similar to Karen Simply Soft.
Yeah, it's very similar to Karen Simply Soft, and this is called Eco Forest. It's very similar, but it is shinier, and it's not quite as soft. Let's be honest. But I did like the colorway.
I like it.
I did like the colorway.
So what are you making with that?
Hat. I need some hats. And then I bought a weird. And I bought it because you kind of talked me into it. Because I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it. But I wanted to see what it would do. This is called It's a Wrap by Red Heart. It is a acrylic cotton mix.
Look at that.
It is an acrylic cotton mix. It is, I'm trying to look here. So it is considered super fine when you pull it 3-ply. So it is thread weight. And it is
so pretty.
It is very pretty. And I do like cotton for a lot of reasons.
Crochet me a shawl out of that.
Yeah, I might be making a shawl or something to just see what it does. It's very odd. So you pull it 3 strands at a time. Or no, actually 4 strands at a time. With 1 strand being different. And that adds a modeling. So you pull like this. At the beginning, they do 3 light blue and 1 kind of medium blue. And then that will change over time to be more medium blue and then go to dark blue and then go, it'll change over time just by the threads you're pulling.
The picture shows color blocking, but I really think that's going to fade.
I think it's going to fade. I think it's going to be more like I think it's going to fade, but in a very obvious way. You're going to see it go from color to color in a color block fashion. But the color blocks are going to be very similar in color, so it will have a fade.
Yeah. I think it's going to like blend.
It's going to be neat either way. And I will figure out a project for it, probably just by going to Ravelry and see what other people have done. You don't make me anything. I'm not making you nothing. I don't know.
You butt.
We'll see. I probably will, actually. So what did you get on our trip?
Well, you don't like doing shawls, so why are you doing a shawl?
I didn't say I was technically doing a shawl. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might make a freaking...
Make a mandala.
Might make a mandala.
Oh, that would be pretty.
It's a giant one. Or installation.
I was thinking a new earring rack because you've been talking about needing one.
I do need one.
I have one acquisition that I brought with me. I left the others at home because they were just black yarns for hats.
Yeah.
So I had one impulse buy at Michael's, and it is Eco Cozy by Loops and Threads.
That's really cool.
So this yarn is made from recycled plastic bottles, which I thought, well, that's pretty cool, right?
That is neat.
It is polyester.
Which is what you get when you recycle plastic.
It is very soft, though. I mean, it
is very soft, but it's got that grippy feeling like wool does.
And it feels like it's roving-esque.
Yeah.
So this thing, whatever I make out of this, is definitely going to fuzz. Which, whatever. I definitely paid way less for this than I did for, like, real roving.
Yeah.
But I think, I bought 2 skeins because one's never enough. I think they're only 145 yards. Yeah. I think I'm going to make a cowl, but I might make a hat. I mean, I could just,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just tie them on.
I don't know.
Minnie Mouse ears.
I have to tell you, I know you tell me I'm a pink person, but I was looking at my wardrobe the other day. I have a mustard yellow dress. I have a mustard yellow cardigan. I have a mustard yellow jacket. And now I have all this forest green stuff that goes with my mustard yellow.
We're not one color people. Like as much as we think we are, like I love green. I wear a lot of green. But then I wear a lot of purple. I wear a lot of blue. We're not one color people. But I think your aura is still pink.
I am definitely a very pink person, but I've been digging the mustard yellow. I also have a mustard yellow shirt that I forgot to mention in my fingers of mustard yellowness.
When that mustard yellow goes out of fashion, we're gonna be in trouble.
I'm not letting it go. I'm just not. I really like it. Like it has nothing to do with like what somebody tells me is popular. I really like this color.
It looks good on you too.
It does. And it looks great with black.
Mm-hmm. And green.
And it looks great with my forest green.
And brown.
I'm excited.
Super good.
So yeah, hat. I might get a pom-pom for hats. Maybe I'll have enough to do a hat and a cowl combo.
You might.
This is good.
Hat and gloves. That'd be weird on gloves.
It's too thick for gloves, I think. Actually, I have no idea, but I mean, the couple of gloves that I've looked at, I'm like, they're all fingering weight patterns. Yeah. Of course, was going through my yarn and I was thinking about stuff and like what I like to knit. I think I just really like fingering weight yarn. I know worsted weight builds up real quick and you can have a project and like boom, done. But man, I really like you don't get this drape with worsted weight.
No.
This flowy, dancy, fluttery business. I think I would really like lace weight, except lace weight takes 9 million years. But
yes, it does.
I like fingering weight, just my favorite. But a good chunky yarn is good to have. So this, I didn't say this, but this is a bulky.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Awesome.
It's very pretty.
I don't know if it has a color name.
Probably does. Mustard. Easy. So then I'm just going to talk about this real quick. This is the last little thing. So I bought this a while ago. I just was looking for some stuff in Joann's and bought this. This is Lion Brand Mandala Ombre in something. No idea what the color is. It's a worsted weight yarn. I was going to do a hat out of it. It's called Cool. And you can see there's a ball in here because I started a hat, absolutely hated it, and stopped. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. The ombre effect is this, like you can see how everything looks sketchy, like there's white all through, like sketched in. And
it's very stripey.
It's very stripey. The fade from color to color is not great. It can be kind of abrupt. And the sketchy part of it, I could not find a pattern that looked good. I tried several different ones. Everything I built up. Now maybe in knit it would build up differently, but everything in crochet just looked muddy and unclear and like I just hated it. So this is a bit of a yarn review. I have also the same Lion Brand Mandala in watercolor. That seems a lot like the color change seems softer. It seems
like it might blend a little better.
Like it won't be as, I want to use the word sketchy, but that's the only word I can think of when you're like, you know, like sketching with a pencil and you're not filling in well enough. You're just like shading a little bit. That's what this feels like. And it doesn't fill in very well at all. You look like you're dealing with yarn that got bleached instead of like thoughtfully put together. And so this did not look good with my crochet projects. I tried like every stitch I could think of. I tried, you know, just straight, we're just single crocheting, we're just making material, and it looked bad. And I tried things with more complex patterns. And
that's a shame.
Yeah, so I have it now, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Maybe I'll try to knit a swatch out of it.
Maybe just put a swatch out of it. So I'm going to try this. This looks like it might be a little better. This is in Quarry. I was obviously in gray. That. Yeah, and it's got, I like this one too because it's got some purples in it and some greens. But so I'm obviously going to be on a hat kick for the next couple times, so that's my plans. But I thought I'd give just a mini review of like, not sure what they thought of with that yarn, but if you're crocheting, it might not be a great idea. So, yep. So I think that's everything.
That's everything I have. Deep breath.
Well, I mean, I think we're banging away on projects. Christmas is here in full force, so that's going to be what we're talking about for the next couple months.
So my projects, I'm hoping to have the Snuggle is Real Cal finished for next episode. The sweater will be a constant whip. The crochet shawl might go on pause because I have to do Christmas hats coming soon. So that one might just be something that languishes a little. And I'm trying to do all these ornaments. Yeah. So
ornaments right now are the high priority, and then after next weekend, Christmas is a high priority. And I don't gift stitch too much gift crochet too much for Christmas, but all my projects are probably going to be time. You know, just things get paused because you need the time. But
yeah, I didn't.
Also, it's getting cold and I freaking hate it.
You need hats.
I need hats.
I didn't do any gift stitching last year, and I said I'm not going to do that this year. And then cousins came out of the woodwork. I have 3 cousins who actually asked for knitting this year. This is the first time family has ever asked. Usually I've just gifted without them asking.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that they've asked.
Yeah.
I also have
You
a
know
cousin
they love
who
what you
asked
do.
for a sweater. That is something I'm talking to her about. Not sure what we're doing there, but it was a question. It was asked.
Yeah.
She's a size medium, so it wouldn't be like the worst thing.
But do you love her enough?
Yes, I do.
We're not sure.
I just don't. I told her like don't expect it by Christmas.
Yeah.
She did ask me like 3 months ago though. I forgot to mention this before, but she like brought it up in conversation, and then it was like one of those
someday
things.
I'd like to have Devynn knit me a sweater.
Yes.
And then she's like today is that day.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, we've talked about yarn, you know, whatever, but we haven't, like, no decisions have been made, nothing's been purchased, and it's not in the works at all. But hats gotta be in the works. I did buy the yarn. Like I said, I didn't bring it to show because it's just plain blacks.
You did good.
Yep. So that's everything I've got.
Yeah. I think that's everything. We'll have more updates. We're hoping to do a bonus video next weekend for the tree. And we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And have a great week, guys.
Bye.